Hello, welcome back, or welcome to Homegrown Urban Homesteading.
Today we're going to talk about weeds and the benefits of weeds, the hidden powers, if you will, behind these little guys.
You might love them, you might hate them, and we've got a lot of them.
We do. When we started gardening and growing our own produce at home, I was a little bit worried about weeds and not having enough time to get rid of them.
So we were sort of trying to figure out how do we still garden, still grow things, but at as low maintenance as possible.
Weeds in the garden do have benefits for other plants, and having some of them around can actually make your harvest better and improve the produce that you're growing in your garden. A few ways that this can help. Number one is weeds can add nitrogen to the soil. You can do the chop and drop method so that other plants can then use the nutrients as they decompose. Before they go to seed like this is dandelion and there's no seeds on it. That could easily just go back in the ground as a bit of mulch and add extra nitrogen to a patch of garden. Weeds are also a really good food for chickens, a free food for chickens.
One of the main benefits from our perspective, because we do have chickens, is free chicken feed, essentially. All chickens need a balanced diet, so whilst they have access in the run to a bunch of different bugs and protein, they've also got chicken pellets full of protein. They also need some vegetation to munch through as a part of a balanced diet, and that's where we see the grasses and wood sorrel and nasturtiums and other different weeds, as they're known, and they're all very beneficial for our chickens because they're full of fiber, full of different nutrients, and they love them.
Another reason why weeds are beneficial in the garden is because they add another layer of biodiversity. Insects, pollinators can use the weeds
As habitat
and food in some cases.
So ideally what we're aiming for in a perfect world as we go forward for our garden is a decent top canopy for birds and the like, but that also offers shade, then a mid canopy of medium-sized shrubs, even smaller trees, and then a smaller shrubs, and then a ground cover around where, and it just creates habitat for ants, bugs, and a variety of other things. And then you're looking at soil and then subsurface soil. Weeds form part of that, the part of that layering. It just forms part of that habitat that the insects and other small microbes can actually live and function and thrive in.
If you happen to have a lot of dandelions in your yard, instead of looking at them as a weed, you could start looking at them as lunch.
Or tea. Medicinal properties of dandelions is quite well researched, quite well covered, but you can also use it as a food source. It will
Put them in salads.
Yeah, it'll be part of a balanced diet. They're extremely
nutritional. We do often eat the nasturtiums, the leaves and the flowers, and some people might consider that a weed because they do go quite rampant once you start planting them here in South Australia anyway.
They are classified as an invasive weed.
They're everywhere in our garden, but we actually really like them.
Very pretty flowers. The flowers pop up everywhere, great for pollinators, attractors. The weeds can act as a sacrificial plant for pests, which they might go for instead of your main crop.
A decoy.
A decoy, yeah.
I think it's really important to strike a healthy balance between having a reasonable amount of weeds and not getting stressed about it, not trying to eradicate them altogether. And having a garden that's overrun with weeds would not be a good idea either. Our very good friend Wayne is here today. Wayne has some experience in what can happen when weeds go out of control.
When weeds go crazy.
You can't even kill it.
You can't kill it.
You have to burn it.
You have to burn it.
Yeah, so you'll stack it up, you rip it out, stack it up into piles, and in the piles will start spreading out roots and start growing just where they are.
So it's called
called lantana.
It's called lantana, and apparently this is a noxious weed.
It's
Is
my,
it obnoxious or noxious?
it's both. The audacity of this weed. The biggest issue that we found when we were ripping it out of waterways is that people would plant them in their gardens because of the pretty flowers, and then the seeds would go into the drains, and the drains would lead to the waterways, and then it would just take over all the tributaries and everything in the local waterways. And then once they're established in the small creeks, they'll then release seeds which will travel further downstream and just exacerbate the problem.
Thanks for educating us, Wayne. This plant was here before we moved in. Andrew loves it. He loves the flowers and the colour that it provides during autumn and winter. But Wayne is telling us to get rid of it because it's harmful, as it might travel outside this garden into other areas. So we will remove this plant.
Remember to like and subscribe or watch some of our other videos. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Appreciate all the support.
See you next time.